Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah.
So today,
Well,
So-
English, because these are all English books.
today I'm going to be making a book review on some of the books,
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
on some of the books that I read through like the past couple of months. This is some of it because I can't find the others. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So we're gonna start.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna move it so I can't see.
One at a time. Let's start with Osborne books.
No, I'm gonna start-
paper. No?
No.
Okay.
This is my favorite. I read it all.
No, you did not. Did you?
No. It's a dictionary of all the words in. I'm kidding. I didn't read this.
But this does have bad words.
It does. Okay, so we're gonna start with the Paperpie. Paperpie?
It's well, yeah. It used to be Osborne, but now it's Paperpie.
Osborne books. So
Yeah.
I only read two because Mom doesn't want to get me the rest till I make a book review. So
That's
here I
true.
am. This is literally the only reason. Okay, so this first one is The Mystery of the Clockwork Sparrow, which I really enjoyed. It took me like 2-3 days. No, actually, this one took me a really long time because it was the same time as my exam for Quran and Islamic studies. So it took me like literally 2 weeks, which is so long. But
Okay.
what?
Nothing. She's a fast reader. That's fine.
Yeah, so this took me the longest time to finish, but it's really simple. It's easy for any age. So yeah, it's also a mystery, obviously, because it's a mystery, and it also is a series, which I also want, but I can't get until I make this review. So here comes the questions. Yellow.
What is it about? Briefly.
So it's set back. Its settings is in the England, and in the something hundreds. I think 18 or 1900s.
Very informative. Thank you.
Either in the 18 or 19. I think 19. Yeah, 1900s. And it's a mystery about this like new mall, the first of its time, and it has everything that you could think of for fashion and clothes and housekeeping stuff for men, women, and kids. It's super cool and fancy, and the owner is known to be really rich and with wonderful and mysterious items that were gonna be put on display. But the night before, one of the things that were gonna be on display right before the opening of the store, it got stolen, and it's the Clockwork Sparrow. And the special thing about it is that it's the first of its kind. Every time you twist it, it's a new tune. So that's the cool thing about it, and it's also covered in jewels. And it gets, and then the what is it called? Heroine, of the book, and her best friend that she made at that place. The heroine here in the book, she's actually blamed for stealing it, and she and her friends set to like discover the mystery and see who's
Anything
the.
inappropriate
Well,
that
there's
does not align with our standards as Muslims.
well only like they have feelings, but there wasn't any acts upon the feelings. So like they're both of the heroines in this book. There were boys who liked them, but like they never said anything or did anything. They're just feelings in their thoughts, you know. So yeah, that's simple to say.
Language.
But yeah, language is good too. There's nothing.
Nothing. Okay. Inappropriate. So you said it's for all ages. Okay. That's
Yeah.
Good. Whoever is willing to read it can go ahead and grab it.
Yeah. It's
Okay. Anything you want to add?
I like it.
You okay? Okay. If there is an ayah or hadith that can go with this book, what would it be? That is always my question. Like the lesson learned from this story. Or is it just a fun book? That's it. Is there a message to be that the author is trying to...
Well, you never know what Allah's plans could lead you to,
Mhm.
because at the end she was I can't say. but it's kind of obvious she would be proven innocent, and in a very weird way, and she actually solves the entire mystery. So, like she at the end when she was also to the point where she was kicked out of work, and in that time work is very scarce, and especially a job that good. So she there came a point where she like almost gave up hope and stuff, but she could continue going and like tried to figure out what to do, and at the end it became better.
Okay, that's good. Let's move on to the next book.
So this is the latest book I finished. It's the Book of Secrets. I really liked it. I actually started this a few times, but I never got to finish it because the beginning is not that, like, for me as a book reader, yeah, it's not, once I start a book, it's not that catchy. I just don't get excited to continue reading it. So it came where I was book deprived and there wasn't any books in the house. So I had to read something. So this is the only book I didn't read. So I just gave it a try. After like the first chapter or so, it started to get really good. So yeah, this is just the beginning, just not that catchy for me personally, but it was really good the whole time. Like you keep stopping at dead ends and you can't, like, you need to know what's going on. So this book is about, he's an orphan. It's like Christian based, but there's isn't like really that much Christian stuff in it. Like he's raised in a abbey, and there's like popes and stuff in it, and he was an orphan dropped off there as a baby, and all his life he was just working there, studying and reading and praying and stuff like that, until one day it starts with him just being his teacher or whatever gave him a secret book and told him to hide it and not give it to anyone, and give it to the secret person, and he doesn't know anything about the book or anything about the person he's giving it to. And so his mission in the book is to give the book to the to the person who the guy told him to give it to. And on the way he meets a band of girls who are like kind of like Robin Hood in the forest, and a prince who's lost his throne, and super cool stuff along the way, and he learns to like survive in the woods and stuff.
Nice.
And also a big lesson that I learned here is like the definition of right and wrong, because like his whole life in the abbey, and he's been taught that stealing is wrong, cheating is wrong, and stuff like that. But once he goes with these girls, they're stealing, they're cheating, they're lying, and so he really figures out what the true definition of right and wrong is, and what is, like, he starts to doubt like what is right and what is wrong once he gets out, because they're lying and cheating, but they say for a good reason to cheat and lie and steal from other people to give to the poor, and to save their dad from the dungeon. Their dad was taken by the king into the dungeon, and he's innocent, and so they're trying to take him out, but in the way he thinks is wrong. So it's two different point of views, you see. Yeah, so that's
did the author make a conclusion as to what is right and what is wrong, or did he leave?
It left it up to us.
What do you think?
There's like they stole from the guards that were trying to be mean to them. The people who were evil to the other civilians. So to the point where they're just taking back what's theirs. So but sometimes it's like a little like, come on, like it's too bad to, but like the way it did it wasn't like showing anything bad or inappropriate, but it was showing like the same concept as Robin Hood.
Do you think Robin Hood was
right? No, not stealing from the rich to give to the poor, but they were stealing from the evil to give to the.
Okay, but okay, I see. We're not gonna have this discussion now because we still have a list of books to go over. But okay. So what do you think would be a good ayah or hadith that go with this book? It seems to be there might be a few.
don't know. So my ayah is وما يتق الله يجعل له مخرجا because يعني because they maybe they shouldn't have done the bad things that they did, and if they like have yaqeen that Allah will help them without them doing any sins, then that would have helped them better.
Well, did what they did in the story, did it help them at the end? It did?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the thing is, it's not, even if you don't necessarily feel that Allah did the right thing, it doesn't mean that it's not going to work. It might work. It's just that there's no barakah, there's no blessing, there's no rida lillah, right?
Oh, yeah, and they ended the story they didn't solve any problems. They just survived.
They just survived. Because it's a series, right?
Yeah,
it's a series. The next book. They left you, they hooked you, so they left you hanging, ready for the next book. So this is nothing inappropriate in this.
Yeah,
nothing at all. No language, no scenes, no graphics, nothing.
They're just like a little bullyish, but there's not like any bad ones. They're just like rude humor.
Who is?
The girls.
The girls? Okay. Yeah. Alright. And it's appropriate for what age group?
Like anyone.
Okay. Alright.
Now this is not Osborne.
Let me just say, for Paperpie books, I have my own e-commerce website. I'm gonna leave it in the description below, inshallah, and then you can order it directly from my e-commerce website, inshallah. And that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Are these the only two Osborne books you read?
Yeah.
Paperpie.
Because the rest are for...
I like Osborne better.
Okay.
What's next?
So this...
Show the book.
Yeah, I know. So this is the third book. It's called Echo, and it's a novel. Yeah. And it's kind of, if you saw the refugee review, it's kind of the same thing. So there's three people. First one is Frederick, and he's settled back in 1933 in Germany. And the second one is Mike, and he's in Philadelphia. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in 1935. And the third one is Ivy in 1942 in Southern California, USA. So this is a book. It's based on one harmonica that traveled through these times and places to each one of these characters, and they all use the same one, and it kind of like helped them fix their situation. And each one has a very entirely different story, but they all wrap up at the end to be related to each other and somehow at the end. So it was really fun to find out how they were related, especially such a different time period and different places. Someone all the way to Europe and all the way to USA is connected to the same harmonica and meet each other at the end. So it's really cool.
You just spoiled it.
They don't meet each other in the end.
Congratulations.
And Frederick is in World War II. Well, they're all in. Some of them are in World War II, some of them are after it. I read this a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's what happened when you wait so long to review a book.
Yeah, but they
Thank
talk
you very much.
They talk a lot about music though, so if if
this is something that you're against,
then it's not really a good book. But it's not like it's kind of like it changes their life, the harmonica, and it helps them like see life in a better way, and it gives them peace. And it talks a lot about music though. But the story itself is very rich and very, very interesting. I really loved it. So yeah.
But it's the book is trying to say that music brought all these people together.
Yeah, that's technically a book.
Right. So that's the message of the book.
Yeah.
But there's nothing else inappropriate.
No. It's actually a really good book. I need to reread it actually.
Okay. And by music you mean just music. It doesn't talk about like crazy songs or
No, it's
lyrics,
also
or it doesn't bring up
no, it's
lyrics, or just music.
yeah, it's anyway like back in the days.
Okay, yeah, I know.
So it won't
Before
really
things got out of hand.
crazy.
Okay. Okay. Anything else you wanna
I really
add?
like this book. I actually
Yeah.
did too.
Any my usual question. Did you think of an ayah or a hadith when reading this book? Any lesson, like maybe
There was
like any similar, like parallel lesson that it might go, like they say music bring people together. Maybe we have something similar, but it's not necessarily the same concept.
yeah,
It's not
because
like music bring people together. Maybe
this,
maybe
yeah, because
Quran bring people together or something like that. Like
yeah, because in the Huwiya thing that I'm listening to, it says that Islam, one of the beautiful says that it brings the whole, it has like the
sisterhood and
and
brotherhood.
brotherhood, yeah, a very strong sisterhood and brotherhood. That's what Islam brings us together. And the hadith that Sayyidina Muhammad said that if like if one part of the body was hurt, the whole body feels it. That's how the Islam should be. So if one person is feeling bad, he should like it. The rest should feel bad too. So that's what Islam would bring people together too.
Right. That's why we always try to raise.
The
Very good. Okay.
And it's super big.
It's super big.
Look at the
Okay, next. Goodness, it's going to be like 24-hour video.
Okay, this is Class Act. This is actually the second book of New Kid, the companion.
Did you review New Kid before?
I think Hamza did. Yeah.
Okay.
This is
yeah,
Class Act. This is the second book. It has
Why don't you also? I'm sorry. Why don't you also talk a little bit about New Kid, both of them together, so that they know when they get both books?
Well, they both talk about like diversity and racism and like being different than the others, which is something we all um have experience with. They're in their case they're Black, African American, and there's classmates are also there's Spanish. There's also a hijabi there, and some Asians and different things. And then they just struggle to fit in and struggle to show people that they're normal human beings like them. So that's the main topic of the book. Both books are like that. So this book actually, the first book, was mainly like focused on the Jordan, the other kid. There's three kids. So there's Jordan, Drew, and Liam, and the first book was focused on him, and this book is focused on Drew.
So there's a third book?
Yeah, there's a third book.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, I think there's a third book.
Do you know the title?
No, I don't. But so there's pros and cons to this book. This book, so as I said, it talks about a lot of racism and diversity and how they struggle to fit in. But instead of fitting in, they show people that who they are. They instead of struggling to fit in, they struggle to show who they are. So their main focus is not fitting in; it's to show people that to bring out themselves. So I really like that in that book. But also they have like they talk about like boyfriend and girlfriend, and they have like this guy has a relationship, but like it doesn't bring out anything. Like she just beats him all the time. She just beats him stuff, and they like make fun of him about it and stuff. Yeah.
Sometimes when the author is trying to stress a good point and a good cause and a good moral or message of the story, they tend to use or focus or show bad so that it points out that it's bad. But at the same time, the reader will be exposed to bad things.
So
right?
there is a bully in this book. His name's Andy, but in this book he actually gets to be placed in his shoes. You know how? So for the Halloween party, he was dyed himself green to be Hulk. But his brother switched the dye to the permanent dye instead of the paint dye. So then he stayed green for 3 weeks. So then he's like, it's not easy being green.
It's not easy being green.
green. And you can't judge people by their color. That's exactly what he's been making
that's
fun
a nice
of them.
one.
So it was a nice twist, and he didn't learn his lesson because he's kind of like those stubborn people who don't ever want to learn. But it kind of showed you that other people can feel what you feel too.
كما تدين تدين.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Well,
that was a good.
These books remind me of something, really. An
What? I know it. ولا يحزنك قولهم إن العزة لله جميعا هو السميع العليم. I know that.
So you. What does it mean?
Wait. Oh, so don't be sad of what they say, because Allah has al-izzah and the strength and the power above them all. So if you have trust in Him, then who can be against you?
Yeah, that's true. Right, I like these books.
Yeah, you just have to watch out for that part of.
Is this comic or no? It's not. Oh, it is comic. You should. Oh my God, you should.
Oh yeah, it's
bring
comic.
this up. A lot of people are looking for this.
Oh, and the boy hugs the girls too much. Like, not out of love, like out of weirdness.
Okay. So yeah.
I don't want it. Okay, so the next one is a scary story one, because I'm dumb enough to try it.
No, you're not.
Because it was like, oh, let's give it a try. My friend likes horror stories. I'm sure I won't be scared. And I went and got a horror story for kids. And then I couldn't sleep. Okay, so, like...
What is it called?
It's called Hide and Don't Seek and Other Very Scary Stories.
By who?
A person.
Okay, by a person.
So it's just a bunch of little stories, like short stories, horror
And
stories.
poems too.
Yeah, and a poem. Oh my God, the poem was the scariest. Did I read it?
Read just a part.
Can I read something? Look at the picture. Okay. Be aware, if a bed monster nibbles your toe, she won't leave the rest well alone. She'll slide out your toenails, peel back the skin, and suck your flesh clean off the bone. When she reaches your ankle, she'll lick up the blood and take a good chomp off the meat. That's why it's safest, everyone knows, to keep blankets over your feet. And then it goes on. It's so bad. It's someone.
Read it?
Of course, Hamza read it.
He's a 10-year-old, so.
And he reads it, and not me. Yeah, but most of the stories is like more funny, scary than actually scary. So if you want to get started with horror stories, this is a good book to start with. It's nice. There's nothing really bad in it, except that it's very graphic. It's super creepy. That's
and
it.
then I think.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. That's
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, so you read the Ma'udatin before you listen.
That's what I think about.
That's what you learned.
Yeah.
Alright. So this is just a fun book.
Yeah, it's fun.
Fun, scary book.
So the next book I read was Black Brother, and it's actually one of the first books out of all these. I also really like this book because it's also the same as this book. Like, it also talks about like diversity and racism, and also in school. So they're biracial. Their dad is white and their mom is black, and the younger boys is black and the older boy is white. Which lots of people, of course, make fun of that and ask him, "Are you adopted? How come you're not white like him?" and stuff like really racist like that. And so he struggles a lot with it, to the point where he actually been sent to jail just for something he didn't do in school.
Because he's black.
Because he's black, yeah. And it's really something, like, when you read it, it will be like, it's literally like, if any boy did it or any girl did it, it won't, like, you won't even think about detention for it, much less jail. But instead of this, the whole school was trying to work with the minorities and work with them and try to make everyone accept them. But this is like the complete opposite. The school doesn't care. They make like this really fancy fencing team for like mostly the whites. And then there's nothing, and the whole school is like against the black boy, which as the other one, the whole school's working with him to fix the problem of racism. So this one he had to deal with a lot until he found the sport called fencing, which also Ibtihaj Muhammad is her sport too. And he actually talks about Ibtihaj Muhammad in this book.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so one of the girls in his fencing group, she brought books about famous fencers that were black, and she got Ibtihaj Muhammad and talked about her. So that was really cool. And there is a bully in this, of course, lots of, like, this one main bully, and also, like, a parent that was a bully to his coach, because his coach is also black. And his brother also is really, something I really loved about this book is the concept of family in this book. Like, there was really strong connection between the mom and the dad and the siblings. Like,
unusual.
I know, right? I was like, the first time, like, wow. I was like, they actually, like, connect together and hold strong together and, like, pick each other up after they fall, especially to the black boy, for being, like, kicked around and stuff. So I really liked it. And there's also, like, a part where he likes the girl in his group, but, like, nothing really happens either.
Okay.
So I really like this book, too. It's really nice.
So all these books, like, age group is
It's,
just
yeah.
open, nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Okay. So out of all these books, which one is your favorite?
To be honest, I feel like books are like children. You can't love more than the other. There's only two groups, bad and good. If it's good, then there's nothing better than the other.
Wow. Okay.
You can't.
Oh no, babies. Okay, which one would you recommend for a reluctant reader? Yeah, like they don't. Reading is not their favorite. Scary book.
Yeah. To be started, I think the class act, because it's a comic, so it's funner to read. I think, but if you're like into like mysteries and like super like on the edge of your seat book, then one of these books are good. I think this one is funner than this one, but this one's really good too, and it's better for an easier reader. And it's like, so the Clockwork Sparrow is the best one for a mystery, and the class act is the best one for like if you don't really like the reading part and you'd rather like look at illustrations. Comics are a good way to start. And the thrill book is the Echo. Like it's an action book. Like you really like you need to know what's gonna happen. That's what's really good. But if you're looking into something that's more like realistic fiction and something you can relate to, then Black Brother is a really good one too. And if you want to die and not sleep at night, then Hide and Don't Seek is a good horror book to start with.
Very good. Well, thank you, Ms. Habiba. We appreciate your review. And thank you for the recommendations.
You're
We can
welcome.
close them.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.